Let's talk about practice.
I know it's important. I do. I honestly do. But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice?
Not the game, not the game. We're talking about practice. And we're gonna talk about 5 different ways to practice, many of which you're probably not putting much, if any, time into, but can give you some massive improvements to your game. The first is film study. There's a lot of different ways you can do this. You could watch actual game footage. You could watch maybe breakdowns on YouTube of game footage. You could watch breakdowns of how to do different moves, like on my channel, and drills and things like that, where I've put more of my focus on. You could do breakdowns of plays, but studying and understanding the game from the tiniest details of what your body is doing. And I will link you to a video down below about the crouch, which really gets into detail with what your body's doing. But on top of that, the higher level stuff, like what's happening on the court as a whole, where should players be moving, how should they be reading and reacting to defenders. I talk about some of that on my channel as well. And in fact, if you go to gethandles.com, grab the free workout there. Right after you grab that, I'll actually offer you a program called Instant Ankle Breakers that talks all about how to read and react to defenders. And you get a new subscriber discount for that. But let's get into the next way to practice. Okay, the next way is the way that you probably already are doing, practicing by yourself. If you're not, put more time into it. I would say you should put in at least bare minimum. If you want to be a good player, 30 minutes a day. If you want to be a great player, an hour plus a day. And the reason for this is very simple. In a game, yes, there's certain things you get out of that, which is the 5th way, playing in games. We'll talk more details about how you can get more out of that in a second. But in a game, you're only gonna get the basketball so many times. Let's say you're playing 5-on-5. That means there's 10 players on the court. Let's just assume there's not even any subs. That means if everyone gets the ball pretty equally, you would get the basketball for 6 minutes out of the 60 minutes playing. How much do you really think you're improving during that time? That's why you've got to put in your individual skill work, so you can master different moves that you can bring into games that can now come out naturally. And yes, from time to time, certain things that you've never done before will come out naturally in a game and work out for you. But you're probably going to be severely limited in what you can do with your feet, with the basketball, and having options for different game situations. So one of the best ways to play better in games is to get more time out of games practicing by yourself, so you can get lots of repetitions in. Again, that free workout I got for you will help you with that. And I got a program called Ball on a String that will help you with that as well. Again, if you sign up for the free workout, I'll give you a new subscriber discount to get that workout if you're interested. And some follow-up hacks to literally instantly help you improve your ball handling. And these are all the things I use that help my handles get to the point from being basically I was the bench warmer in the small town where everyone plays, to shocking guys like LeBron James, Paul George, Dwayne Wade, and LaMarcus Aldridge with my handles. LaMarcus Aldridge actually told me I have the best handles in the country to my face. I was like, what? Okay, next way to practice. This is with a trainer or a partner. This is my favorite way, because if it's just you and one other people, or a very small group of people, you know, I'd say under 5 people there total, you're gonna get the most out of your time from that, because now you've got someone that can play defense on you. They can notice little details of things that you could improve, things like that. But most specifically, just having the other person there to play defense, rebound, whatever, you can get more out of your time. If you got someone getting rebounds for you and you could just keep shooting, you can get more shots up much more quickly instead of running around the court chasing the basketball. If you got someone that can play defense on you, now you can see how they're reacting to moves. You can get used to dealing with contact. A lot of these little things that you wanna get better at in games that are really hard to simulate by yourself, you can fix by having a partner, a trainer, someone there to work with you. This next way we're gonna call 3.5, because it kind of fits with 3, and that's basically like team practices. This is where you got a larger group, but you can do a lot more things as far as, you know, having full 5-on-5 and working through plays, working through different game situations and scenarios with the whole team, working on passing and timing and hitting players on the move, catching on the move and getting into shots and layups, things like that, that you can kind of simulate by yourself or with a partner. But some of those dynamics are sometimes hard to do with a limited group of people, because you've only got so many bodies and you can only simulate so many things and do so many things. But this is usually handled by you being on team. So if you're not on a team, I would recommend you get on at least 1, if not maybe 2, so you're getting enough time in on that. You just don't want to go too crazy with this to the point where now you don't have any time or energy to put in individual practice and practice in small groups or with a partner. The 4th type of practice is going to be working on your body. So with this, we're talking about mobility, flexibility. I don't really like thinking about flexibility too much. I like mobility, because with that, we're working on our ability to pull ourselves into positions versus just kind of hang there floppily. That could actually put you at risk of injury. That's a whole nother tangent. But point being is you want to be strong while long, you want to have strength, you can work on your endurance, you can work on your speed. This is, I wouldn't call it practice, but your diet if you need to gain or lose weight. But basically it's about getting a bigger engine in the car, a faster engine, more mass, more ability as far as ranges of motion, things like that. And with that, I want to say right now, big issues I see with a lot of players that keep them from being the players they could be is wrist mobility, hip mobility, and ankle mobility. The free workout at gethandles.com that I'll link down below, I also mentioned it earlier in the video, it'll really help you with all those aspects and with getting strength in those positions. And the last type of practice is games, and I'm going to show you some things that you're probably not doing with practicing in games. There's a couple things that can help a lot. Number one, having sort of an agenda or a goal when you're going into a game. So saying, I want to try to get better at this. So pickup basketball is good for this because you don't have to worry about the consequences of your coach saying, okay, you shouldn't be doing this, you should be doing that, whatever. This gives you time to kind of experiment and not have to worry about that so much. But going into a game with saying, I'm going to focus on these certain things, allows you to get that in-game experience, and a lot of times there's just no substitute for that. As far as things you could try in games, again, that instant ankle breakers program that I mentioned earlier will help you with that. Again, if you get the free workout from gethandles.com, you'll get a new subscriber offer right away for that. Again, the workout I'll email to you on the next page. You'll get the new subscriber offer for instant ankle breakers, and that'll give you some things that you can look at in games to try to apply. But one of the other things you can do combines two of the earlier ways of practicing we talked about. One was by yourself, so you get in more repetitions, and two was getting in practice with a partner or a small group. Because with that, you can get some of that in-game experience of how contact feels, reading angles, reacting to a defender, reacting when you're on defense, all those things. Well, one way to get the best of both worlds is to get in one-on-ones. So now it's just you and one other person splitting time with the basketball, so you get lots of repetitions and you can work on the things you're trying to work on without them knowing what you're going to work on like you would in a training session. And with this, you could also set up certain rules like, okay, we're both righties and we got to play on the left side of the court to improve our left hand. Or you're trying to be more efficient with your dribbles. You can say 2-3 dribbles max, and then you have to get a shot off. Little things like that. And then one other thing you could do is get in 2-on-2, 3-on-3, and you could apply certain rules like that as well, as like you have to get 2 passes in or whatever the case may be. But that can give you some more of that game situation as far as reading more defense on the court, so you can find different spaces you can get into, reading how to get the pass to the teammate in the right spot where the defense can't get to it and hit them in stride, things like that. And of course, you catching and now having defense on you and trying to get layups, shots off, another pass, continue your dribble, whatever the case may be. That being said, the workout down below will help you with a lot of these things. The instant ankle breakers program will help, the ball and a string program, and of course, just getting out and applying some of these things that we talked about, whether that's a small group session, getting in more one-on-ones, 2s-on-2s, watching videos and games and trying to study. All those things are gonna be big factors that can help you improve your game in a lot of ways that you're probably not right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.